Okay, so now I'm over at my stovetop and I have my egg yolk here in my custard cup. It says that I am going to cook over medium heat, stirring constantly until it thickens and boils, and then I want it to stir it for 1 minute. So I'm gonna turn my burner on here. Okay, and this induction burner is actually pretty quick at getting things to come to a boil. Yours might take a little bit longer than this does. Okay, let me show you what the color of the mixture is there. Okay, you can see my brown sugar on the bottom there. And that's one of the reasons that you want to stir continuously, because sugar is going to burn if you don't stir it continuously. And there's also protein in the milk that will burn, and there's also sugar in the milk. Okay, lactose is milk sugar. So we have to be cognizant of those things that might burn, and when we're cooking something over heat like this, you want to make sure that the heat is not too high because you don't want the sugar to burn. Okay? So cook over medium heat, stirring constantly until the mixture boils. Boil and stir for 1 minute. Okay, so let me get my timer. Dang it. So keep stirring. Silly watch. Where's my timer? Set this bad boy for 1 minute, and when it starts to boil, I'm gonna time it. I suppose I could watch the second hand on the clock too. That would be easier than setting my timer. You might be able to see the steam coming up off of here. Okay, so I have my egg yolk here because, you see it there? I'm gonna temper the egg, and I need to have it close to my boiling mixture here. You're also gonna hear this thing start to beep when I lift it up off the heat, because in order for the induction burner to work, obviously the surface of the pan has to be on it, and when you take it off, it's like, wait a minute, it's not on there cooking anymore. Okay, I'm really getting kind of frothy here. You have to be careful. I'm going to turn my heat down here because we don't want to burn our milk, scorch our milk, scorch our sugar. Is it leaving there? Okay, turn it back down. So 1 minute. That will be about 55 seconds. So it is boiling here. I'll turn it down a little bit more. And this is the easiest way to keep it from doing something you don't want it to do, is just lift it up off the heat. Because if you keep it on the heat, even if you turn the heat down, it's going to burn. Okay, so I'm boiling, and it's been about 30 seconds. Okay, this is the thickening power right now of the cornstarch. 15 seconds now. It's got some nice big boiling bubbles here. And you do want it to cook to a boil because otherwise it won't get thick. Okay, so nice brown. Whoa. Oops, just poured it on the counter. Okay, so now gradually stir 1/4 to 1/2 of the hot mixture into your egg yolk to temper your egg. So there's my egg yolk. I'm going to crackle that guy up, and I'm going to continue to stir it while I drizzle a little bit of this hot liquid in there. What you're doing is gradually warming up the egg yolk so it doesn't scramble. Okay, so now I'm going to put that back in the mixture. And guess what I need to do? I need to bring it back to a boil and stir it for a minute. So the mixture now, this is where a rubber scraper would come in handy. Let's turn this back on. The mixture now needs to boil again, and it's gonna have a little bit of a different color to it because that egg yolk is in there now. Egg yolk is gonna give it color. It's also going to give it nutrients. It's also going to give it more thickening power, okay? And we'll compare the color of the mixture with the stuff I spilled there on the counter when we get done to see if there's a color difference. Okay, I'm already boiling again, so set the timer now. I'll turn it down again. Because again, I don't want it to burn, lots of sugar in there. Notice I am stirring constantly. Have not stopped stirring. We have about 20 seconds left. I have 2 ingredients left to add. I need to add in my tablespoon of butter. It says on the recipe that the butter needs to be softened, but guess what? It doesn't have to be softened because this is a really hot mixture that you're gonna put the butter in, so it's gonna melt rather easily. Okay, boil and stir for 1 minute. I am at my 1 minute, so I'm gonna turn this off, and I would actually move it off of your stovetop. I don't wanna touch this though because it is hot. Let's set it over here out of the way. Pull this guy forward. I'll show you the inside of this now. Okay, it's more of a butterscotchy looking color. Okay. Now I have 2 ingredients left to add. It says to pour stirring butter and vanilla, so there's my vanilla going in. Here's my tablespoon of butter, which again is going to melt rather quickly. So vanilla is the flavoring. Okay, you could certainly leave it out. I don't know why you would. And your butter is going to give it a nice, rich, smooth taste. It's already almost melted in here. Also a little bit of added fat and also a little bit of a yellow color. Okay, so we get some coloring from the yolk. We get nutrients from the yolk. We get thickening power from the yolk. Okay, the yolk is where all the fat is in the egg. From the butter, we get some nice richness. We get a little bit of flavor. Okay. There's my butterscotch pudding. Look at that. As it cools, it's going to thicken even more. So now I'm just going to put, it seems kind of weird, I'm going to put a little bit of this next to the stuff that I spilled, and you'll see hopefully a little color difference. Okay, this is with the egg yolk and the butter. This is what I spilled when I was tempering it. Okay, so there is, it's more of a butterscotch color than that is. They're still both, this one's, the one with the butter and egg yolk in it is much tastier. Okay, so here is my pudding. Okay, and like I said, it will thicken. I like to eat warm pudding, so I'm probably gonna eat mine here soon. It says to put these in your dessert dishes, and that's just your custard cups. Those are your dessert dishes. So there's not a whole bunch in here. It's just like a little snack for you to try. Very easy to make pudding. Again, your job today is to decide if you're going to make vanilla pudding, chocolate pudding, or butterscotch pudding. The difference is the type of sugar and the addition of cocoa. So vanilla pudding is just the vanilla pudding recipe. Chocolate pudding is the vanilla pudding recipe, and chocolate is put in with the other dry ingredients. So your sugar, your cocoa, your cornstarch, and your salt. And then butterscotch pudding is just switching out the type of sugar. Vanilla pudding and chocolate pudding have regular granulated sugar. Butterscotch pudding has the brown sugar. Okay? Can't wait for you guys to make this. We'll be doing that tomorrow. Okay? Bye.